Hey YouTube, I'm going to be reviewing my Tudor Heritage Black Bay watch. This is the Burgundy model. They also have the blue bezel. It has a different color dial, but both options are same price. They're $3,100 if you get it with a leather strap that also comes with the Nato, which I'll get into later. Or it's, I believe, $3,700 if you order it with the metal bracelet. So I wanted to go over the packaging because it is actually fairly impressive, especially for a watch of this price point. So you've got your exterior box right here. It just has their logo on it. It's super nice. I ended up buying this watch on eBay, got a great deal on it, paid $2,000 for it, which is just unheard of. Normally they go for around $2,500 in this condition. So this is the exterior box. You can see there's kind of like a thin styrofoam material to protect the actual inside box. And then you've got the interior box here that is just incredibly nice. It says Tudor on the outside. It's black, whereas this box is brown. It's got this really nice set of hinges here on the back side. Great piano black finish. I just love that little indentation right there. But it comes with all the warranty cards and information manual. It's got a brown leather inset right here where the watch fit into, just like that. Just a really nice setup. Came with this black NATO strap. I actually haven't even fitted it on there yet. I've had this watch for maybe 2 months and I've only worn it on the leather strap, but as you can see, a really nice NATO style strap. It's not necessarily NATO, it's got a little bit more of a braided quality to it, but nonetheless very nice, and kind of like the signature Tudor outline right there on it. I may try it at some point, but I really like the leather bracelet that comes on it. So I'll show you the watch here. So this is the leather band that comes on it. It kind of comes already aged, looking like this. It's got some patina, some age to it. I don't think I've added really any sort of wear and tear, except for maybe a little bit of scuffing on the buckle just from sitting at my desk. It does have a 22 millimeter lug width, which is a little different from a typical Rolex. This is, made by Rolex, modeled after the old Tudor. I think it's the 7021 that was made back in the 50s and the 60s. And that watch had the original snowflake hour hand, kind of like this one does. But it also, some of the models also had square indices at the hour markers. So if you look up Tudor 7021s, you can kind of see where Tudor, some of the style cues that Tudor used to style this watch after. So very cool history. Obviously this brand, a more affordable alternative to Rolex, started I think back in the 50s. Obviously not an in-house movement like a Rolex, but you get a reliable ETA 2824 movement, no date, which kind of lends itself to more of that antique-y kind of vintagey look. If you like the older no date Submariners like I do, you kind of, I don't know, I kind of like the look of it being a no date if you're going for that vintagey look. Obviously a modern watch, I would probably opt for the Cyclops and a bracelet, but I think that the chocolate dial on this, and it is hard to maybe tell on the camera, but it is a super dark chocolate dial, whereas the blue Black Bay has a matte black. So with the leather band, I do think that complements the chocolate really well, and obviously a tan leather, other leathers would just work really well, especially with the gold and the brown, all kind of giving it that heritage type look. It does have a Tudor rose there on the crown. No crown guards, which is a big departure kind of from the typical Rolex having the 2 crown guards. And some people have complained about not the absence of the crown guards, but just how big the crown is. But this is probably one of my favorite, or not favorite, it is a cool part of the watch, but probably one of the first things I noticed after having owned Oris's and Squales and just kind of other mid-tier brands, and going with something like this, is how smooth this was and how sturdy it feels when you pull it out and adjust the time and then give it a wind. It's incredible. And I have other watches that have the exact same movement, and I've got a Squale 1521, and it doesn't feel nearly this smooth or sturdy. I don't know what they did to it, but it feels great. It's got a nice sturdy sounding bezel to it. It's a 60 click bezel, which, you know, maybe some people would prefer 120, but I think the sound, the feel is all really nice. It does have a great loom to it. It's as you can tell, it's more of a cream style loom versus a bright kind of blue-white loom that you'd see on some of the newer watches. So why don't we go over to a quick shot of the loom. Here's Black Bay. You can see the sweeping seconds hand coming across the 5, the snowflake hour hand, and then you've got the little loom dot at the 12 o'clock on the bezel. Great loom. So as you can see, really nice loom on the watch. Despite, you know, maybe thinking that would kind of suffer because of the creaminess to the loom, it's very legible even in dark light. The case is a little bit thicker than you might assume it is. It's maybe hard to tell the scale here in the video, but it is kind of thick, which I like. It's got some heft to it. It's got a nice feedback when it's on your wrist. Very plain case back. You can see it says just, you know, Tudor, Swiss with the logos around. It's got the serial number printed right there. And great buckle. Actually, let me do a wrist shot. This is a 41 millimeter case, just 1 millimeter bigger than a Rolex Submariner or the other in that Rolex family. So it is a tiny bit bigger. So this would be like a Seamaster size, 41 mils. But I think it fits me great. For your reference, my wrist is pretty much spot on 7 inches. So I think this is a great size. You can see the lugs still fit on my wrist here. You know, it doesn't fall over at all. It lines up very well. So I think this is probably right in my sweet spot of maybe between 40 and 42. So if you have a 7-inch wrist, this watch should be great. You can see the sapphire crystal there. It's got just a slightly exposed, but it's super clear, hardly any glare on it whatsoever. And I do like the burgundy. I'm not a burgundy guy at all. I like oranges and blues and things like that. But after kind of considering the blue, and you get the black dial, or you get the burgundy and you get a chocolate dial, I kind of talked myself into getting this one and couldn't be happier. It's super nice. So again, if you're looking for this watch, I can't recommend it highly enough. You could probably find it on eBay for around, you know, $2,400 to $2,600, depending on the condition and whether or not it comes with the box and the papers. Maybe you'll end up with a great deal like mine. I hope you do. I think I paid $2,000 cash and came with all the stuff. So anyways, that's an overview of the watch. If you have any questions or comments, please put them below, and thanks for watching.